Let me ask, I think, just about a final question, Mary Lou, from Amy. She says, we hear a lot about populism these days, usually in the context of Trump and Brexit and far-right parties in Europe. And yet many authoritative experts list Sinn Féin as Ireland's foremost populist party. Is Sinn Féin, a simple question, is Sinn Féin a populist party?
No, not in that sense. We are certainly an increasingly popular party. We're not part of the political establishment. And you see, you need to be careful how you define things. I mean, this idea of populism and kind of playing to the lowest common denominator, I hear that kind of, and that's, I suppose, most regularly associated with Donald Trump, but you can see examples of that elsewhere. I think it's dangerous, though, to say that every voice that challenges power or challenges the status quo or takes on the tired and rather jaded political establishment and questions things, that automatically defines you as a populist, because there's something around using that term that it's used almost tactically to disregard what you're saying or to undermine the message of change, and that's what Sinn Féin is all about.
I suppose that the common thread there, which is perhaps why experts have listed Sinn Féin in that category, is that Trump, Brexit, some of those far-right parties do sort of pit the people against what they call the elite or the establishment in politics and media or business. And I think it would be fair to say that Mary Lou, on occasion, that is very much the kind of rhetoric that Sinn Féin will employ, that the people sort of versus the elites or the establishment. Do you ever have a fear at all of being associated with that kind of, I'll say the word again, populism that has, in your mind, done great damage in other parts of the world?
Well, I think the contrast between that type of populism that you've described, that kind of reactionary right-wing populism, and Sinn Féin is the difference as between daylight and darkness. So no, I have no such fear. Our politics is about equality. It's about inclusion. It's about fairness. It's about decency. It's about women having our rights. It's about human rights and civil rights. So we are a million miles, and actually in an Irish context, some of those who would point the finger at us and say that we're populist are actually, quite reactionary themselves. So no, I'm not going down that road. That doesn't bear up as a matter of fact. And yes, we speak truth to power. And the fact is that we live in a society that is still riven by inequality. We are stupid, we are foolish to tolerate that, because we know that more equal societies are more prosperous societies. And in order for us to get from unequal to equal, from divided to a united sense of prosperity, you have to challenge the status quo. And that doesn't make you a populist. To my mind, it makes you an activist and a representative who's willing to take things on in a spirit of honesty and progress on behalf of the people that you represent.